Bless up, bless up, bless up. Roots Reggae Hub family. We're live here on the Roots Reggae Hub. I'm Shayna McCullough. Tonight I have Aisha Bell. This is her new track playing in the background. Still a Mek Away. Big track. I'm going to talk to the Empress tonight about her music, her inspirations, and a lot more in store. We're going to dive deep and get to know the Empress and what she's about tonight. If you didn't hear me already, if you're tuning in on the radio, it's Melody Mondays. Come over on Instagram so you can take in the video portion of this interview tonight with Aisha Bell. It's going to be a good one. We're here each and every Mondays at 8 o'clock. I'm going to send her the invite right now to join because I'm very excited to speak to the Empress. Lots going on tonight. Yeah, she's working on a new album. She has so many tracks, Conscious Empress, that talks about things that, you know, we should all be talking about. Self-awareness, looking within, meditation, Bun in Babylon, of course, amongst many other things. Aisha Bell is here. I'm going to invite her in right now as we speak. Anyone who's tuning in, share the link so that everybody can take in tonight's show. It's a special reasoning tonight, especially this time of year over the holidays. Yes, Empress.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Glad to see you.
I'm very glad to see you as well. This is a
I'm
long time coming because I've been wanting to have you on the show for quite some time. From January, I was like, I need to talk to this beautiful Empress. You know,
yeah, it's good. It's good to share with you. We met back then.
Right?
Good inspiration, right?
Yes. I hope you've been feeling good tonight because I do want to talk about your music, your new track. I was playing a little snippet of it here on the intro when I was introducing the show tonight. I was playing still a Mek Away, and I was also watching the official video that you dropped as well, and I shared it, of course, on social media because it's so uplifting. It's so it's what people need, you know, right now.
Right, because we are the overcomers.
Yes.
And no matter what they will have to do, we're still going to make it. We're seeds and we will always be here. So no matter what, we're still going to make our way. So that's what it is about. No matter how the system tries to abuse, we still make our way, you know?
Yes. Yes, and there's so much of it happening right now. It's rampant. But for anyone who doesn't know who you are, whoever's might be tuning in worldwide, you know, we're live here on the radio as well on rootsreggaehub.com. And whoever's joining us here on Instagram, whether they're, you know, friends, followers, family, and they might not, maybe have never even heard your music before, let them know in your own words who Aisha Bell is.
Aisha Bell is a woman, singer from Kingston, Jamaica. I come from East Kingston. That's where I sing about. That's where the video you saw is based. I sing roots reggae music, uplifting music, and that is the focus. As I would say, I'm not just a singer. I'm an activist for positivity and upliftment within community and the wider world, and that is what I am about. So it's like I'm a woman of purpose. That's who Aisha Bell is, basically. Woman of purpose. That's what the whole meaning. So everything I do must have purpose, and I keep it that way. As I say, I come from East Kingston, Jamaica, born in a family. I don't know if you're going to ask those questions still, or should I expound further here? I'm not hearing you. Your sound went. Sound. Not hearing.
Oh, the sound is not working. Oh, I said yes. Sorry. I had my microphone off. I was saying yes, I would love to talk about the roots and foundation, what makes you who you are as a woman today, and your early childhood growing up in Jamaica.
Well, growing up in Jamaica, I grew up in East Kingston, a rough and tumble community. I born on Harbor Road and moved to Lucas Road. East Kingston was not. It shaped my thinking because as early as 7 years old, I was exposed to injustice within my family. So it kind of shaped my thinking because I don't want to start the interview on a somber note like that, but that experience losing an uncle to in that time they used to have these squads about eradication squad, and the police would go around and shoot young men indiscriminately and then put gun on them. Well, I came out of that. That was my first introduction to life. A rough said, wait, this is not as simple as I I think life should be. Even though my parents were Christians, we grew up sheltered. It's 6 of us, and we go to church every Sunday because my father is a deacon in the church and my mother is a missionary. So we have to find ourselves in church every Sunday. And but while we were sheltered, we were exposed to the things that were happening out there. So it shaped my thinking that anything that I do would have to be to uplift my community, uplift myself, find a better way out. Because growing up in East, I lose a lot of young men that I know, even women. I remember when I was little, another bigger thing too. There was a young girl I used to play with. We used to play dandy shandy. I don't know if you know dandy shandy.
No.
And everybody used to ball and throw in the street and sight so you don't get out. Or we played giant step. Everybody, every kid in the street, child would come out and play. And her family, her family was taken and executed. I'm serious. At that age. So it kind of shaped my thinking from an earlier age, just to be a beacon, just avoid certain things if I don't need to be in it, but write the songs I want to reflect, hope to see a better situation for my community. And so most of my songs, they have like too much dopey stories based on East Kingston. So dopey stories, because sadness, too much of it. We want more weddings, party, and graduation. Then the same way, still I make a way. Everybody fall through the cracks, get a chance to survive. So I like a microcosm of exactly what is going on. Some make it, some don't. So that is what it is about. So I grew up, as I said, in a sheltered community, sheltered home. Parents are Christians, but at the same time influenced by the things around me. In the midst of the madness, we had good music. Like we had like Mystic Revelation and Rastafari. Those were some of the first men to put me on. Fuzzy, who was one of the men he was the first one to put me on stage. His soul rest in peace. He's no longer here. And those persons, I had like the sound system, Miss Birdie Poco Church. So it's a whole lot of things happening in that one little space to influence and make me who I am. From there, that's a childhood. From there, my parents used to have us in competitions at church. That was part of my shaping, because my church, they were known for all these competitions where every parish, every church in every parish had to participate in every summer annual event called JUNAC, meaning every young person, we had singing competition, and of course I'm the winner. Yeah, and then you had like speech and drama, dancing, everything. My church was very instrumental in that. But like when I reached 16, my awareness became a little bit too much, so they kind of just say, you can't say certain things in the church, I would go there and start to say some dub poetry like, we can't believe it, and Pastor, now I hear, boy, we can't believe it. Babsy Kaisi, because she's pregnant again. She not want to hear that. So I told that, so I kind of drift away from the traditional idea of God and trying to seek my own way to find oneness with the Creator.
How young were you when that was when you started to have that shift?
As early as 16. But even though I had natural hair, but never, I wasn't locked because my parents' upbringing. But from then on, I know that something didn't add up for me. Even though my parents were all, everybody, still love my parents, but that was when the tussle started between my parents and myself in terms of belief. Because like my church, everybody was like, you have to baptize to sing on the choir. And I me say me not understand what them do. So there's no way, it never resonate with me. There's no way I'm going to go deep in the water just to, I have to be true to me. So I was left out from that early age. Even though I was the top singer, I was left out because I can't sing on the choir because I was not I was not the Christian, as they would put it.
They're missing out on a beautiful voice, on a beautiful songstress, all because, you didn't want to go through this ritual.
Because I didn't understand. I wasn't feeling, I just put it like this, my awakening didn't come at that time.
Yeah.
So to be forced to do something
exactly
you are not ready for, nobody's gonna force me to do anything.
Yes.
I question everything. And my parents and
but I'm surprised they didn't just give you a blind, because your voice sounds so good. They should have said, don't worry about the baptized.
Right? They sent me to sing by myself. But when it comes to the choir, I just couldn't sing. I couldn't. They didn't allow me. So I just say, you know what? Let it be. It hurt for a bit, but I learned to just say, yeah. It is what it is. That is my favorite word. It is what it is. What am I going to do about that? Nothing. And just move on and seek other places to go sing. So that is where the tug and war started with my parents and me,
So at what age did you decide to lock your hair?
Well, I didn't start locking until like I was 29.
Okay.
29. Right. I had my daughter, and after that it's like I start hearing, I start getting more deeper in myself. I start hearing, people may say I'm crazy, but sometimes I hear voices.
Yes.
Say, you're supposed to do this. Are you supposed to do that? Just like with my name, Aisha Bell. I was standing in my kitchen when I heard a voice said to me, your name is Aisha. Wow. My middle name is Aisha, because I was searching for a name because everybody wanted to call me everything. And I was like, that's not who I am, Yes. And I resist. And one day I'm in the kitchen cooking callaloo at 6 o'clock in the morning, that I was living in St. Thomas. And I just hear a voice. I was start answering the voice like a crazy person, And I'm like, wait, there's somebody talking to me in the house. Your name is Aisha. I said, yeah, man, my name is Aisha. And I said, Bell. And they said, yes, that's it. Not the bell like beauty, like the sound. The voice was explaining to me in that moment what Aisha Bell would mean. And I said, yeah, man, that sounds just like me,
Yes. I love that story. I love that story. And you mentioned, that some of your music comes to you in dreams. And I find that very deep because I also dream things. And a lot of times they're sort of premonitions of things to come.
Yes.
So I would love to hear more about, how your inspirations or how your musical inspirations for your music and your lyrics might come to you through a dream.
Creating my own music. I couldn't do it before, but when I was in St. Thomas, I used to get these dreams that would frighten me. Because let me give you a little fact that I maybe have to switch to this phone. I'll give you a little fact. My mother is a seer. She would walk, she's one of those women, I don't really talk about this, who would walk the streets. When she gets vision, she would walk the streets and tell people. She would go to your house and tell her, this is going to happen to you.
Wow.
Get your life in order. When I was younger, I used to have those little gifts. Dreams would be so vivid. I would have these dreams of stars just falling, just stars aligning. planets aligning. I have all these dreams. I would dream, see Aretha Franklin on stage singing a song. And I wake up and I say, but Aretha Franklin don't have a song like that. And it got to a point where I would sleep with my head, with my recorder, like I was going crazy. Because the lyrics, the stuff would just come to me in the dreams. And at that time, I was with someone that played music. So then we wake up in the middle of the night. He has a lot of those songs that would come to me in the middle of the night, and we sit down and we work them out. I would dream even. There was a song I dreamt about. Second nature is part of a dream. The love me forever. Don't ever send that one to you. Love like this is treasure.
Beautiful.
King, I wanna love you for life. I don't ever send it.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh my God.
Yes, I have that song.
At that time, there was a song that came to me. I dreamt that I was walking in a garden. It's a love song about marriage. And we were together at the time. And I just found myself walking in a garden with all these pretty white flowers in the dream. And this violin was playing. And the song was just coming through. Will you take my hand in this moment?
Wow.
And walk with me in the sunshine. The words just come. And I wake him up and say, come here, something come to me. Come and dance. And I'm dancing in the dream. And the words are singing, like me on a stage singing to myself. So these are of the things that will come. So what Still a Makeaway is part, as I say, part of a dream. It's like with the song, I had an idea for another song on the rhythm. And I was like, the song just wouldn't work. It just couldn't see the light of day. And one day I was just, a vision come to me in the day about East. I started seeing the things in East, and some words just start coming to me in the dream. And as well as like in a trance, I got up and started writing. And it took me a while to bring that song out because I was going through my own changes. So it had to wait until I was ready for it.
Yes.
So now is the time for it. And the rhythm, as I said, was originally created with some brethren, some brothers, some men that guided me as an artist, like Alla Lloyd from Chalice. The older ones will know Chalice Band. Pete Bowen is a guitarist. You know, oh my, I miss him so much. He was like my little, oh my, Bo Peep was my inspiration, man. My father are two persons that are key to who I am right now. Because Bo Peep was like, why you not sing? Why you afraid to sing? You can sing, man. And why you afraid? Come lick me around in my yard. And I would go around to his house. 1 second, please. I would go to his house and sing. Maybe I have to get up because I think the lighting is kind of poor where I am.
Yeah, that looks good. I can see your face.
Yes.
Wow. So a lot of people have encouraged you on your career path and really said that's what you should be doing.
I give thanks for them. I give thanks. Allah is still here and I cherish him more than anything else because at 19, when I was just embarking on like being in a group, he was the first person to say, don't worry what anyone said to you, you're going to be great. Because I struggle with self-confidence. I'm not afraid to say that. I struggle with self-confidence. I don't know if it's my upbringing, but I struggle with it at that time. And sometimes I still do, but I try to just keep it at bay. Keep it at bay, keep it at bay and be my own source of strength. And so like Allah would be the one who still to this day is key to everything I do. And I'm happy he's still here because these men are in their like 60s and 70s, you know? Right. Okay.
And we've lost a lot of reggae legends, you know, in the last 2 years. We've lost a lot of remarkable musicians and reggae artists.
We've lost too many.
Yeah.
Too many, just too many. And what in terms of replacement, um, in those times, there was such an abundance of talent and originality that we are yet to replace. When a Toots is gone, who is continuing the work of Toots, you see?
Yeah.
I say Liba out now saying that she's going to continue his work, and I'm happy to see that his daughter is taking the time to really preserve his legacy, and I'm happy about that. So it's something that we have to really think about in terms of preserving the culture, because the legends are going, and we fail to understand that these men are in their 60s, 70s, and they're just going away, and the music is changing. I don't know if it is changing for the better, but evolution is something we can't avoid, but it's something that has to be guided. And if the elders don't do the work to guide it, then it's going to run away. And they always tell you the child that is ignored will come back and burn down the village. So if you ignore the pitney come burn down the village. And right now we have to take up some responsibility and accountability for where we are currently. That's how I see it. And we can't do the blame game of pointing fingers and say you. We just have to point a finger inwardly and say, you know, I could do better, I could do more. You know, that's where I'm coming from.
I love that in your music you speak on, you know, themes of upliftment, consciousness, you know, looking within, and you really speak tools into your music that can help, you know, the youth. And you speak of, you know, children of the sun, and it's like you're deep. You're very deep, and I can tell you're very wise. You know, there's a lot of ancient history, and, you know, talking about Africa, and just the type of music that unfortunately doesn't get as much recognition as the slackness, and, you know, the stuff that, you know, is like brings people attention more times is like the negative type, or the music that doesn't have as deep or important of a message as your music has. So that's why I love you as an artist, and I love what you do. And of course, Roots Reggae Hub has been supporting you. My mom loves you.
Joy. I love
you know, and we will
so much.
We will continue to support. I want to talk about Kalinga Records, though. Is that how you say it, Kalinga?
Kalinga Records, yes.
Tell me about the name choice. What does it mean?
Well, if you know anything about Queen Mua Musa from Uganda, original Queen Nyabingi, if you know anything about the legend of Nyabingi, you know that she used to beat the Kalinga. Beating Kalinga. If you listen Locks Grow, a song, the more me locks grow, grow, beating Kalinga like Queen Nyabingi, chemetical royalty. That's where Kalinga is from. Queen Nyabingi. It's about, you have to put the gems in, you know. For me, it is not about preaching to young people. Don't preach to them. Find a way to drop little gems here and there for them to understand you. Because if you try to preach them, you're going to alienate them. They're not going to listen to you. So you have to find a way to find common ground with them. And, you know, have you ever heard about so-and-so? You know, find a way. And they were like, you know, she look like you. Let me show you a lady that look like you. Inspire them to find. I said, wow, you know, because a lot of them, they're so brainwashed. And for me, I had to make it my purpose to understand myself. Because I was bothered in school. I went to an all-girls school, a Catholic all-girls school. And I was bothered, very bothered by that school. I was not at peace in that school. I was troubled by the apartheid education system in that school. That's what I would call it. And feel from I'm a little girl, I always feel like they want to rub the culture out of us. To rub out everything that makes me me. And I'm very resistant to anything that tries to take me away from who I am. Even if it means I give a lot of trouble, I'm going to get some lick. I'm going to be speaking about it. And if I can't speak, I just get quiet and stay in the background and watch everything. You understand? But school was not, I had good friends, but as I said, the system of school, all girls Catholic school. Let's
honestly, I consider it to be somewhat of a joke. You know, the history that they teach is not even real history at this point. It's
no. So you have to make it your point of duty to hold on to what makes you you.
Yes.
Because there's everything out there to distract you from who you are. The young people, I'm sorry for them, because you have to fight. They say when you read something and say Columbus discover me. You have to be, but that don't make no sense. How?
Right.
Yeah, you go through that, and then you come and you meet people who are indigenous to this place, and people are telling you that they're all dead, and then you're like, no, but your bloodline is similar, and you're fighting for your own voice to be heard. You understand? So it's a whole lot. You have to hold on to who you are, because everything is out there to take you away from who you are. Yeah. Strip you, tell you that you can't, you look at you, you're turning into a ragamuffin, Miss Walsh. Look at you. I go through all of that. You understand me? Because everybody wants you to be this Barbie doll replica of something that you are not. Yeah, I do have no problem with you being you. But allow me to be me. You understand me? A black girl out of East Kingston, an African woman living in East Kingston, Jamaica, born to two parents of African descent, living a black experience, and this is who I am. I must not be going through trying my best to tell people that, apologize for the fact that, okay, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not about that. I might have to switch because this thing is running so fast. I don't know why the battery going down so fast on the iPad. So if you see me cut off, I'm going to switch to. Let me see.
If you have to cut off, I'm going to play a little bit of your track, Sila Make Away. I do want to talk about your album as well, Hear Me Now. Right. I believe it came out in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, and that was we all know what happened in that year, so that was a good time to release an album. I love the track Ancestor Song on the album.
Right, yes.
It's a beautiful track. Turn Up the Sound, Little Prayer, the tracks Babylon Work. Big tracks back to back.
My track. Yeah.
I have curated a personal playlist of my favorite Aisha Bell songs that I will be playing following this interview on the radio for everybody that's tuned in 228 countries around the world. I love every one of you guys, the Roots Reggae Hub family. I will be playing a curated playlist of Aisha Bell music following our reasoning tonight. It's a full hour playlist of back-to-back Aisha Bell music. So if you don't know the Empress and you want to keep it locked here so you can hear all of the tracks out in full because of the Instagram laws and regulations, I can only play 30 seconds to under 30 seconds of a track here. But I do want to play a little bit of Still Make Away right now, 30 seconds of it, just to give you guys a taste of what's in store coming up after our reasoning tonight following. All right, bless up.
We come from the desolate places.
Pull up.
We come from desolate places. The system and the time to keep me down in the cages
Hi,
of
girl.
ghetto.
Oh, can you say hi to Sophie?
And ghetto.
Hi, Steve Harvey. It's so nice.
Keep the smile upon our faces. Even though it's tough, we're working on with greatness in this ghetto. It's lost in ghetto. We keep on rising. All the
What did you like to say?
in a system that gives abuse.
That's a beautiful track, Aisha
Thank
Bell. I love
you.
the track. And it's streaming everywhere. It's available on all platforms for everybody to go and support. I tell everyone that's listening around the world, whether you're here on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Alexa, Google, wherever you're listening from, make sure to support the artists because it's so important to stream and buy the artist's music. All right, so that was Still a Mecca Way, Aisha Bell. Let's see if we can get her back in right now. All right. Let me know what you think about the track. If you think the track is fire, drop some fires in the comment section down below. All right, everybody. Bless up, you're back.
Okay, beautiful. This is so much better. Yes.
Yes, I love it.
I don't know that this thing just died so quickly on me. Just no.
The
I
track
got
is so
100%.
good. I love the track. It's
Thank
exactly
you.
what I need right now during this time. Here in Canada, it's dark. We barely get to see the sun. You know, it can get depressing. You know,
I know.
everyone knows
Make
what's.
sure you're taking your vitamin
Yeah,
D's.
I
Zinc
take
to
some
keep it right.
extra dose during this time
Yeah.
because we can't get the natural, you know, the natural rays from the sun. So any song that
Yeah.
kind of makes me get through the day, this is this type of song.
Yeah, that's great. I'm happy. I'm happy because that come from such a personal space. So it had to resonate because
You cut off for a second there, Aisha. Can you hear me? Let me know. I think you got cut off. There we go. Let's get her back in. Bless up, Steve. Bless up, everybody tuning in. Lady Sharon, Space Age. I see all of you guys in the comment section. Bless up. Yes, you're
okay.
back.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know. Something keeps kicking like they don't want us to have a great time.
I'm telling you.
Let's
It's this.
banish anything that is coming in between. Cut and clear all negative energies right now.
Yes.
Because
Thank
we're going to have a great time speaking tonight and bless up everybody. Let me say I need more herbs, yeah. Big up Steve Hutty. Big up yourself. We need some herbs too.
Tell me what inspired the album Hear Me Now and the timing of it.
Hear Me Now. I was supposed to put out some works in 2019. It should have been with some other persons, and I went through a period of time in that time where I had to make decisions that were, that's the best way to put it, where I had to walk away to find me, walk away to preserve my sanity, walk away from a lot of things that were threatening my very core of who I am. So I walk away from that and was in a very dark space. So it was like I had to prove something to persons. I was planning on doing like a 2-part album which is where Rockford Heart comes from. And the other part was supposed to be a digital album. And because everybody was asking, Aisha, where are you? Where are you? What you doing? What you doing? I said, well, hear me now. One woman army, because I'm going to prove to everybody that, look here, I can do it. I can do it. So, and I can do it without going through hearing that because I chose myself that I'm going to suffer and nothing gonna happen to me. Nothing good now gonna come off me. Me, I'm being honest and I'm saying it as is. Nothing good now gonna happen, and because I chose myself. At the time, I was working with some other producers from Europe, so they gave me some songs. They said, okay, you can use those songs. So like they gave me the rhythms and I wrote the songs. So they allowed me to put the songs, but some of the songs are my own production because as I told you, it was 2 albums in one. And I separate one. I said, okay, let me give them the digital side of me, which is the rubber dub, rootsy, rude girl kind of, not rude girl, soldier girl kind of vibe coming and yeah, soldier girl kind of vibe, you know. So that's why you have the songs like that. They're very. It came out at a time when it was like I wrote it into the future. You understand? I wrote it into the future because we had Corona coming on, and then you had all these people and their ideas of job works, and I said, them only for a moment, for a time. Them soon realize none of them can write job, right?
Yes.
And then I have Mr. Conscience, like crazy, crazy times we live in. Demons hijack the floor, screaming hatred everywhere. Good sleep at the door. Oh, brave men, heroes, where have you gone?
Oh, honestly, a lot of your music is just like even cost of living, you know, like the cost of living is going up, you know. It's like you're seeing things far into the future.
Far into the future. But that song is a cover song actually. That's not my song.
Okay.
I just happened to do it with a label, Addis Records, big up Addis Records in Switzerland. Yeah. I did with them. They released EP with me, a vinyl EP.
Yeah, I want that vinyl. I'm doing a vinyl collection right now.
Oh, I don't know if there's any left because the last time I checked, I might have 2 here in Jamaica. The last time I checked, everybody was asking me for more copies. I don't know if any of my friends in Switzerland have any left because when at one point that nobody had any, so it was sold out. So I'll have to find out if any is left because that came out in 2017. 2017, yeah, that was then. So hear me. You know, album was like, hear me now, see me here. That you say, all right, since soul and attack off on the face, see me here. And it's one woman army. So I was executive producer on the entire project. And so it was a little I'm the first time admitting this, there's a little feistiness in you know, a woman just say, you don't think you can write me, I've seen me here. Hear me now. One woman and me I step out on my own.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, you kind of that vibration, you know? Yeah.
You collaborated with so many artists like Shaka Demus, Jimmy Riley, Yellow Man, just to name a few. Tell me like what you might have learned from your collaborations and if you did learn, and who was your favorite to work with?
Shaka Demus is my favorite to work with for a whole lot of reasons. I've worked with Yellow Man was fun because Yellow Man was just a project I was a part of with Upton Hibbert, and I was there and I wrote the album that Upton put out, I did the artwork for it for him. The Legend album that is a Yellow Man. I did the artwork at that time because we had a label at that time and we put out the album with that Yellow Man album together. We had a label together. And Jimmy Riley,
was just like an artist. So Shaka Demus is a person I have worked with that really say, listen, you know, say, Mo, yeah, we can write one tune. You understand me? It's like him listen to the song. I send him 2 songs and we call me out of the blue and he called me to the studio. So he's the person I've had the most interaction with in terms of creativity. So I would say him. And on top of it, he's one of the most giving artists I've come across. There is no form of bad energy or, you know, those, I always say, sometimes as an artist, you know, artists are vain. Let me just put it like that. Vain. Because producers are wanting, but artists are another kind of vanity that is something else. And some artists would not want you to shine more than they do. Or if they put you, don't fly too far, you're like a kite, and they're holding on to the tail and say, don't go no further than this. So you go, come over here, some man. No. And what I've discovered with working with him and Pliers, especially Shaka, is they just want, especially Shaka want to just see you. Go on, man, what's up the place? I'm gonna tell you so you can't do it, go on, do it. You know, and that's what I love. I have never worked with anyone that tops that. So I just put it where I say he is one of the most encouraging artists I've come across. Put it like that.
And you have a beautiful song with him called actually Beautiful Place.
Place. Right. That song came from, as I said to you, I went to his studio originally to sing some backing vocals on the invitation of a friend. And while I was there, they asked me to do some ad-libs on a song. I said, I never come here to do no ad-libs, you know. But it was not my kind of music. It was, so I said, okay. I did the ad-libs and they called me back every time to come back to the studio to sing harmonies and stuff. Because that was my bread and butter, to put extra money in my pocket when I don't have any jobs outside of music, outside of my music. So I sing harmonies. Other persons know me in Kingston and Jamaica that I sing harmonies.
Yes.
To keep the pot bubbling. That's how I put it. I went there and he said to me, he wanted me if I could come on the road with them. And they had a song where he wanted a female to sing the hook. But as I said, it's not my kind of song. It's one of them girly, sexy girl kind of thing, and my thing. But then I said to them, say, you know what? I will write the song for you and give it to you. I'm going to find a female to sing it. So I go in the studio. They had the lines, and me and his son, Marvin, was there writing, and the song was one of those sexy. I soon go into a beautiful place. One of those sexy girl song, and then I sing the lines, and I said, but look how you sung with this song when you don't want to sing it. And they said, we now take off the voice. So I said, don't put it out like that, because it's not for me.
Yes.
And he said to me, go and write another song. I'm going to sing it with you. And him saying he needed another song for his album, and I must go and write another song and come back. So even when I was there at the embassy, he said to me, yeah, we were going to get the UK visas, and he said, you finished write the song? I said, yeah, man, tomorrow I send it, come give you. I send it. And he put it on his album, the Success album. It came out on that album. But the other song came out later. So it came out on an album called Garrison Christmas. And it was like, Antabella, are you there? You know, one of those sexy kind of things that was coming. You have the key to make the door open.
I love it.
One of those sexy tunes, me not mind still every now and then. Well, you know, we're female, so you have to be a little bit but we not lose yourself, you know? Yeah. We not lose
anyone that
yourself
has a question for Aisha Bell, now's the time to drop it in the question box down below on your right-hand side. I like to take, at least one or two questions. And also on Twitter, if you have a question on Twitter, I might take a question from Twitter as well. But it's much easier if you come over and join us on Instagram so I can read your questions right on the screen here at Roots Reggae Hub on Instagram. So for anyone that doesn't know how to do it, there's a little question box at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
I am not. Instagram is not one of my places. I'm not like you. I do not understand Instagram.
I
You
already
might
see
see me
some questions
posting.
coming in for you, Aishabel, but we're going to
Okay.
take it in a second. Tell me what lessons you learned from 2022. If anything, what has this year taught you?
To just live in the moment. I've lost so many people this year. So many people clock out so suddenly.
Sorry.
Whoa. I learned to accept. I learned a lot of lessons this year. One, to accept that sometimes you will never get closure and you just have to find it in yourself and move on. To just allow your body to process both joy, pain, just experience, just live in the experience and don't allow it to swallow you. Once upon a time, things would swallow me. And like a scorpion, because I'm a November person, I go and hide in a corner. You understand? I go and hide and lick my wounds and stay there and hug myself until I'm okay. And then I pop back out. But this year has taught me to walk, allow the pain to pass through, allow the joy to pass through, allow everything to just go through and let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. So this is what this year has 2022 has taught me to just go, which is why I always have a backup plan. I was supposed to release some other works on November 11th, which is my birthday. And then it fell through. What did I have to do? Release till I make a way. Because I decide that anything that has to happen, even if I have to move the mountain myself, I'm going to do it. So it's like embracing who I am, no longer allowing myself to listen to the voices in my head that tells me that, you know, say you're not good enough. You know, say, how about you try? You know, and they normally want to come 2:30 in the morning, you know, just before the angels arrive, you know, to come tell me some foolishness, you know. And they come and it just come in my brain and I'm like, you know, go away. So it's like I allow myself right now to just experience life, understand that I have no control other than to get up and do what I can while I am here. And accept that just as there is life, there is death. And it's just something that a transition that we all have to go through. So that has been my biggest lesson this year. So I'm living in the moment, in the present. You may see a song on my timeline saying something like that, that I did today as a matter of fact. Say, oh, go again, Lord of mercy. It's two songs, but this one, I don't make up my mind. Today ain't got no yesterday. Tomorrow, no promise to none away. Got to live in the moment to be happy. So I actually put it in a song. So that's been my biggest lesson this year.
Wow.
Just to live in the moment.
That is a great lesson to share and for others to take heed. A lot of times we're living in the past or the future and, you know, we're not.
No, we just have to, I always say, stop and enjoy the now. Enjoy where I am right now. I have this little song I always sing to myself. Stop and smell the roses. Listen to your soul. Your soul. Enough song. May I have to come and road in? I need to go work out. Make time for yourself, people.
Yes.
Don't you lose control. Stop and smell the roses. You know? Listen to your soul.
Yes,
Take time with yourself, children.
Do you have any meditation practices or techniques to look within, like something that you do on a regular basis that helps you to still your mind and connect with self?
I sit still. 3 o'clock in the mornings. Like my best time for me is after 3. 3 o'clock. It's like is when everything comes home to me. Most of the time, I'll just sit still. Once upon a time, my mind would be racing 100 miles a minute. Boy, I tell you, it's like my thoughts just go, it just go over. So I had to learn how to calm myself. Speak life to me because I needed to hear that I love myself. I used to just stand in the mirror and hug myself. It sounds crazy, don't it? No, it's not
It
crazy.
sounds
Trust
great.
me. If you ever stand up and just hug yourself, I even made up a little song about it. And yes, man, because it's the most relaxing feeling. Learn to just be. Learn to just be in love with yourself. And until you love you, you can't love nobody else, you know. And it's something I had to learn.
Wow. I love that. I love
I could
that.
sing a
Let's
little
talk a
song for
little
you.
bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's
But no,
talk.
sing it
Sorry
now.
to cut you. Let's talk
Yeah.
about destiny. I've been thinking a lot about destiny recently, and what are your opinions on that? Do you believe our destiny is already planned out for us, or that we can, control it or alter it in some way?
Well, in my mind, if you already signed the soul contract as to what you're gonna come here and do. So whatever whatever you are doing, to me you can it's a twofold situation. It's either you're going to I believe in reincarnation. I don't know about body
Yes,
else, but to me,
I do as well.
reincarnation is real. To me, based to me, I don't care if I come from a Christian home or whatever. Some people, the dreams of the void that can be manifested in reality. It's true. That's so true. Um, in terms of let me stop reading the comments. Let me not lose
That's
focus.
okay. No,
Sorry.
I love to read the comments because
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yes.
Some of them are on point.
It's twofold because it's twofold. The destiny is already planned, but it's for us to be aware of where we're going. And that can only happen with us going within and seeking our soul purpose.
Yes.
Because I don't care. Everybody have to realize that every soul come here with a contract, and until you fulfill and grow, just like as within, as out, as above, so below. Everything else on the inside is on the outside. It's the same way I see the universe. If a tree has to grow from a seed, a soul has to grow from a seed. So it's like you have souls that have to. Am I getting to? You have souls, just like the seed grow into a tree. The soul has to grow.
Yes.
So it might take you many different reincarnations to come back and fulfill your soul purpose. So to me, and you come right back in the matrilineal bloodline that you're originally from.
Yes.
So you're here to fulfill. So some of us are our grandmothers, great grandmothers back in the flesh, and we have to spend time. The biggest trick they told us is to look outside of ourselves. The greatest thing you can do is to spend time, get quiet, and speak to the God within. Because every day I'm looking at your mirror, he look at you every day, telling you, trying to get you to listen a little bit closer, understand a little bit more, slow down a little bit, and just listen to yourself, you know?
Yes.
And a lot of times, I wish, no, I can't even say I wish. I am where I am supposed to be because I wasn't ready earlier. But I'm okay now, and that is the most important thing for me. Being okay and understanding and in acceptance of who I am and not looking outside of myself for more than I can be.
I love that. I love that, we kind of got deep into some of the questions that I had in mind, but just through reasoning, it's all coming out, it's all coming out.
Yes.
Angel Nubian, but not just that. This is a natural instinct you know within and you feel within. It's just people that are at peace feel it. People that aren't rebel. It's some people don't even want to hear it because they get scared. Yes.
Yeah, the fear at times just is fear is one of the biggest thing we have to overcome because we have been scared away from our own selves. And everyone has to grow at their own pace. Some of us wake up earlier, some wake up later, right? And we have to realize that it's not a race. It's not a race. Every man is going to find his own space. And as my mother would tell me, say, every tub up find it bottom for sit down pan. So you just know that who you can reach, you reach. Notice I didn't say preach. Who you can reach, you reach. And you ask for your soul tribe. It might be one or two people, but it's just people that you can resonate with. And you have to understand that we have to conquer that thing called fear, because they have allowed us to be so afraid of everything that makes us who we are. It has nothing to do with color, because it's just the fight against man understanding themselves as opposed to us just walking in this earth with the slave mind. You understand? The slave mind and the fear has kept us in chains. But what I'm happy about is 2020. You've seen more people eyes wide open. Their souls are waking up. A lot of people don't understand that sometimes you see a person going through some mental shift. It has nothing to do with chemical. Everything has to do with spiritual. But because we have lost our way in terms of understanding when a person is going through their spiritual initiation, we think that we go put them in a mad house and juke them with injection more than like those olden days. They used to have the teachers that guide them through the course, because just as I said to you, they don't know, they're not, the experience is totally new to them, and their mind can't process what is happening to them because all their life they grew up believing that everything spiritual is about dopey and evil and this and that and all kind of stuff, when really it is just part of our awakening, you know.
Yes.
It was part of our awakening.
I love this comment in the comment section by Angel Nubian. Have you ever found that the deepest voice gets louder when it's real?
Do
you find that inner voice gets louder, or that voice you might hear gets louder when the message is real?
Yes. The inner voice gets louder, and sometimes you have this ringing in your ears, like you can't explain, and you'll be telling to somebody that, did you hear that? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? So you don't hear this ringing, this loud, and you can't explain it to, but that is like, that used to be one point in my earlier. I used to think I was going crazy when I used to hear the ringing because nobody else was hearing it. And eventually I start to understand it and 2020, even before 2020, in 2019, I start becoming 2017 to be exact, as that is when I start going more on the inside of understanding that voice, listening to that voice, following what that voice say, and just doing what I have to do.
Yes.
Doing what I have to do. And sometimes you get messages and then you are fearful. And you don't, why should I be the one to go out there and do that? You just have to just accept that you're going to have to go do it.
Yes.
You know? Just that.
Sometimes we are instruments, in a greater plan or a universal plan.
Right, the vessel. You're the vessel. The vessel.
Yes.
You're the vessel of the creator to transmit it. And sometimes you meet some people. When you say when your ears they ring, somebody at top of you.
So people say
When the
that.
little are used to say. But that's true. That's true too. Let's get
Tell me about your community outreach, because you're passionate, clearly a humanitarian, and you've worked with the Rita Marley Foundation, Rescue Youth JA, and even Theater for Change Collective,
with my
which is here in
son.
Toronto with Masani, who's a good friend of mine, and obviously we've collaborated on many projects together, and so I would love to hear more about why that's important to you.
Because, as I said to you, my upbringing shaped my thinking.
Yeah.
I've seen too many people fall through the cracks. So whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. My music I'm not just here to sing and make a joyful noise. I'm here for purpose. And to whom much is given, much is expected. So anywhere I can fit in myself, and if you call me, I'll come. There are sometimes I do my own thing, but I don't load it up, I'm not the type to come and advertise that I'm going to do this. Like I used to use my birthdays to do outreach. I like cook. I walk up and down with food in the communities and give it to the destitute persons. Other times I would like the things what I want to focus on, which I started, was more for children, for the younger ones. I have this dream of mine to do a skills training, um, skills training school, and like an ongoing skills training community project. I would take, like, every year I take two children from every avenue in my community. That's a dream I have. What I do in the recent times, during the COVID times, I when the kids had to be at home, I get packages, digital packages, internet packages, those kind of things, and give it to the children so they can be on the internet. I want to do more of that. But then sometimes the music takes me away from being able, and I want to put myself in a position where I can be. It's not a drop in the bucket. You understand? You don't start and stop. And that's what I'm trying my best not to do, because it's very not a good thing to me when you start something and you don't fulfill your promise. Because it's like you start somebody on a path and then you just leave them by the wayside.
Yeah.
So I'm mostly join with other persons until I can do it to the level I want to do it at. With Masani, she touches on issues that female based, and especially in the Rasta community, we don't talk about those things.
Yes.
And especially as Black women, we don't speak to each other. We need to get to a point where we fix each other's crowns. And instead of, I always put something online that some of you are laughing at your sister and she's going through a depression, and you would even spend the time to find out what she's happening to her. So it's like, as Black women, we must need to start looking past the material side of things, start seeing ourselves as our sisters keepers.
Yes.
You understand? And I like what Masani is doing where that is concerned. A lot of people don't understand. But I get her. I get her. Put it like that.
Yeah.
I get her.
No, I totally
She's a
understand.
brilliant mind.
I understand.
A brilliant mind that wants to do a lot.
Yeah.
And you just have to. I fit in where I can. But I want to do my own projects, focus a lot more on my own projects and get them to fruition.
Yeah.
As I said, that the skills training project, that is one of them I really want to see in my community, because I see so many youths just they don't know what to do with themselves,
Yeah.
you know, and they need mentors. They really need mentors, and to see people winning, to see black people. I would even say black people from lower class communities winning, not just going through the run of the mill life and being stuck in the rut, you know.
Yes.
We need to harness the potential in the communities. Like where I'm from, East Kingston, right now there's a war out there. When I was shooting the video, I couldn't go certain roads. I couldn't go on certain roads, and the roads are blocked off because guys are firing guns at each other. Broad daylight, you hear gunshot that's ricocheting off the wall somewhere. And I'm like, we have to be more than this, you know? So if you can pull one or two out, you have to do it. And those who have the skill set have to start going into the communities, picking a youth to mentor. Not everybody is going to be a doctor. Not everybody is going to be a lawyer. But there are some practical things that we can teach young people that they can earn, because most young people pick up things because they don't know them next meal coming from. So you need to give them skills that they can use to earn. You understand? You can do this, you know, you want to learn some graphics, come and me teach you if you do Photoshop. That kind of way, you sit down. You can, you know, if you do this, you can, you know, those things. Show them how to use a camera. So I have this, that's the vision I have for my community.
I love that.
More than anything else.
It's so important, the community and unity, and especially the youth, because they're the future, you know, of.
Right. So
Yeah.
when they reach, especially the boys, when they reach like 9 years old, that's a time to catch them. 7 to 12, because 7 is when the personality is formed. 12 is when puberty kick in. So it's a bit time between the time when 7 years old, just before the personalities start kicking, and at 12 when they're starting them a man. Oh my God. And 13 then start to rebel and give peer problem
Yeah,
to mommy.
get them in
You
there
have to
in the program
catch them
early,
early.
some coding or graphic design.
Right. So you mold them, right. So that's where my mind is. And Jamaican boys need rescuing. Right. The young men, quality of quality are just, that's why I don't know if I send you the song Potential Die. I wrote that one. I didn't send you that one. That's an Ayabingi track I wrote. It has to do with my community too, because it's like no matter what age you are, it doesn't matter, no matter what you do, you're the ones they're coming for. I've watched so much potential. I watched Troy. He used to weld everybody community, and he's the one they killed, you know, because he's the weak fence. He didn't have no gun to shoot nobody. Septic. They just pick up the guys that are always trying, you know. So I want to see where we harness the potential in the inner city communities and stop killing the future, you know, because not everybody is privileged to born with a mommy or a daddy that has a job and or is rich. No gold spoon around here. So we just want to find the best.
Yes. You
Thank
have
you.
a song
Thank you
coming
very
out
much.
that you sent me called Fret Not. What is the
Yeah.
release date? Can you tell me about the song and the
The
production?
16th, this Friday.
Yes.
I did it with a label in Switzerland called Gold Ball Records. Um, I did. Let me sit up. I'm getting a little bit so relaxed. It's so good talking to you. At least I feel like you. Yeah. Gold Bar Records in Switzerland. It's coming out on Evidence Music. Evidence Music is a distributor in Switzerland, and I wrote that song during Corona time.
Wow.
You know, and at the same time, when you to me was facing a lot of backlash from persons that I'm like, why? You understand me?
Mm.
So I pen the lyrics. So it's twofold, you know? It said, fret not thyself about evildoers or wicked men working overtime. Them too shall pass, can live forever. If Jah is by your side, everything will be all right. When Jah lift you up, none can get you down. Even though the road get rough, I will overcome. Blessings are shower me abundantly. Blessings are cover me. So every time I lift up out of my bed, I give praise to the Almighty. Because everything will work out, you know. Don't
I
it?
love it. I love it. I'm gonna
Right.
play a quick snippet of the song, probably only 15 to 20
Right.
seconds, just for people to hear it. It's not out yet, so this is an exclusive song
Right.
release
You're
here on the
the first to play it. You're the first to play it.
Roots. First
Right.
to play it. Fret not.
So
I
big
should
up
know.
Ego. Big up Ego
No fret, no
and
fret, no
Gold
fret, no
Bar.
fret, no, no, no. No worry, no worry, no worry, no worry. Let me say, fret not thyself, for evil doers, or wicked men working overtime. Them all will pass, can live forever.
It's just a sample here on the Roots Reggae Hub. I cannot play out the songs in full here on Instagram, but I have a
Right.
curated playlist that's coming up right now following our reasoning on rootsreggaehub.com. You can find us on Twitter, TuneIn, Alexa, Google. All of the streaming possibilities are endless. Or go to rootsreggaehub.com and you can listen straight from the new
Yes.
website that just launched today,
Oh,
actually.
that's nice. That's nice. That's very nice.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Hi,
Thank you.
Sean. How are you? Good to see you. This is such a gem.
I did want to ask you, tell me something that you haven't already told me that most people don't know about you or would never guess in a million years.
Whoa, what do I? um, I don't know. Um, I'm a good cook. I'm a great
Oh,
cook. I
nice.
don't tell people about people. You know, everybody put their food online. You never really see me put anything like that online. But me, anybody that come to my house can tell you that I always looking to feed people.
Yes.
Always cook, and I have a little mother spirit. All my friends, some of them don't understand it, but I always looking to take care of them in a way like, come, you can do better than that. Come here, sit down. You're not feeling sick. Come and boil some tea for you. And I love bush tea.
Bush tea.
So right, and I do graphic design.
Wow.
That's work.
Yeah.
What other things? I used to work like in copyright. Enough people don't know that. Enough people don't know I used to have a 9 to 5 job for a long time before I pick up that music. These things. But what I love more than anything else is being in the kitchen. I used to have this like a restaurant at one point.
Nice.
And I love herbs. I love everything to do with herbs. So like you would find me go down the market and go to the herb lady and go buy what new bush you have.
I wish I had
But
a
my
herb lady
favorite
right
thing.
down the street.
And I'll go my favorite thing to do is put cinnamon, ginger, and lemon, and just boil it and have it smell throughout my entire house. And I would just sit down and just bask in the smell and just make everything, because it smells nice.
Yes.
Makes the house smell so sweet, and I just love the tea. So that I'm a tea girl, tea person. So those little things I love.
Love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
So
Is there a new album coming out? Is there an
yes,
album that you're working on? Is it called
I'm working on an album called Rockford Heart, and there's another album that should have been out a while back. I did some songs with persons in Switzerland while I was there at one point, and from 2017, they're preparing to put out that body of work. I don't know when they're going to put it out, but it should come out next year. I'm also working on the project, the second half of Hear Me Now, which is a Rockford Heart album, because the songs are based thematically about East Kingston. That's why you have like Still I Make a Way, as you see where the video, and I have like Potential Die is also on the album. Hi, Little Minty, thank you for coming through. Potential Die on the album. I have like Nobody knows. In Paradise. In this place that often makes, I put in some more love songs. I put in that side of me in it. In this place that often makes me cry, man, you come and kiss my tears goodbye. Loving you until my fears goodbye. Bye. Oh, with you, love feels like paradise. Love feels like paradise. Love feels like paradise. And then me say, in the verse, I ain't go like this. And me say, me feel safe in this little old shack. Amidst the gunshot and the roadblocks. You make me feel so damn relaxed, like me cruising on a real fat yacht. Baby, now if you worry about we going out the street, in this house, it bring me enough peace. Stand under me light just like a concrete. I know, me say me love how you do it in this place.
Fire.
And then I have like Barrel Pitney, Race Pantuna, a preview, me Race Pantuna, Antin sausage, macaroni and cheese, and nobody watches. Papa was a rolling stone rolling through the passage of every young girl, corners and crevice. Mommy board the plane. She said she couldn't manage. She want a better life, but she never see the damage. Daddy too busy, granny too old, and auntie only concerned with fear on barrel pick day. That's all I can tell you, Who can relate?
Wait,
So Rockford Heart is going to be fire. I'm just telling you. Trust me, fire. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple questions from you guys from the
What?
family.
Somebody laughing at me. Yeah.
I see a question here coming in from Lady Sharon. Aisha Bell, where's your favorite place in the world to perform? Any tours planned for 2023?
Yeah, I'm working on for 2023. I've performed. I like Switzerland. I performed in Switzerland, and I had some great times there. And I hope to go back. The people are very nice to me, and they're very receptive, and they like to give you nicer to things after the show.
Yes, nice gifts. I'm heard.
Yeah, so and Germany, I had good times. But I like performing at home. I like performing here in Jamaica. Enough little places, but the vibes, right? But I like how the other countries are receptive to reggae music. Yes. And I wish we here can be just as receptive,
Yes, I love it. And another question coming in from Steve. Is your daughter too old to be in the industry, and will you discourage her if she would be interested? Is your daughter old enough? Is your daughter old enough to be in the industry? And would you discourage her if she wanted to sing or be
I would
involved in music?
encourage her. I wish she would. I wish she would sing. She sings better than me. She's 17 now, but my daughter is a gem. She's a talented. What's the word to use? She's my little muse.
Yes.
She plays like 4 or 5 different instruments. Yeah, but guess what she wants to do? Right now she's in sixth form, and she's learning coding. Her idea for learning coding is because she wants to start a company where she create music soundtracks,
Oh, I like that.
software for music. Because when she was a child, all she would do is, if she's watching a program, she's listening to the music in the background, and then she would go on the piano and try to play it. From she was a little
She's
baby,
gifted.
that's how she has
Very
always been.
gifted.
So, and she's a brilliant poet. So I'm encouraging her to do what she wants to do. I don't want her to necessarily follow in my footsteps, but if she chooses to at a later date, I'll be there to guide her, because she's right there, both sides. Music is pouring through our veins, pouring out every pore in our body. Music is in it, and trust me, on both sides.
Wow. I love
Yeah.
that. I love it because it's in her DNA. You know,
Yeah,
I do believe these things are passed down as are other things written in the DNA code. So you pass down that gift to her.
yes. Trust me, my daughter writes some poems. If you go on, like the other day during the corona, she won a competition. She's in high school, right? And she won the university competition, the poetry competition.
Yes.
And something about corona, if till persons are looking, I said, oh, just a little girl. Yeah, she writes some poems. I said, you come in like, that's why I tell you, reincarnation is real. This is not something that, this is the way she writes, you would think it's a woman from the 18th century.
Wow.
Just the way she put the words. I'm like, where you get you understand? But I'm just happy to see that she's blossoming, and she don't give me no trouble, none whatsoever. She's a gem. She's a gem. She's my mother.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
She's the daughter my mother would love to have.
Oh, I love that.
Don't
Are there any other events coming up that we should look out for, or anything else anybody you want to shout out, like anybody you want to give a shout out to, and let people know also where they can find you on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all those things. You got to spell it out for the radio listeners.
Ishabel Music, ISHABEL MUSIC. That's on all platforms: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. What's the other one name? I don't know about TikTok. I'm sorry.
Facebook too, right?
Facebook, right. All those you can find me on there. And for bookings, I'm open for shows. I would love to come and perform in Canada.
Yes, come here.
Right, I want to come and perform in Canada.
It's pretty cold now, but springtime.
MBRA Media, mbramedia@gmail.com. You can get me on that. Get for bookings, you can check there. I have shows coming up locally, and as I said to you, I'm planning for next year to be out on the road. So I'm waiting on. I don't speak on things until I have paperworks. When the paperworks are finalized, then I speak on them. I don't want to do that, but I have local shows. I have a show coming up. So they're doing for the Rastafari community, Alice Selassie, reign and visit. Prince Hermes is his son. They're doing a documentary, and I'll be doing the performance. I have a performance going up at the University of the West Indies. I'm one of the acts on that particular show. But 4 of us on it. Prince. Right. Yes, we did. We have that show coming up. I have another show that I am rehearsing for, and I'm also planning a show at my own event to present some songs and just a whole vibration, whole of vibes,
Yeah.
and make some make some new connections, and it's a series of shows I'm planning to do until touring season or comes around, just to get my the bones them
And
oiled
we'd
up.
love to have you back in Toronto. Of course, I know you did the Canadian Reggae Music Festival, and I've spoken there
Yes,
a few years ago. I was a panelist at the Canadian Reggae Music Festival, and we'd
yes, yes.
love to have you back here in Toronto. I
Would
don't
love
like to
to
speak
come
on things
back.
too soon either, but I have some things in the works as well that's, I would love to have you make an appearance at.
Yeah, I would love that.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Aisha Bell. It's been
You're
such a
more than welcome.
blessing reasoning with you tonight. I learned so much from you, and you're such a beautiful gift. The art that you have, that you've shared with the world, and now that you're
Thank
passing it
you.
down to your daughter to also share with the world as well. I look forward to seeing what she decides is her true path and purpose. That's exciting.
Yes, yes, we all have to as I always say, um when you have a child, a gifted child, you you can only shape them a little, but they will find their way. Um and it's just to recognize their gift and give them enough room to grow. Don't stifle that gift and allow it to manifest itself. But just give them enough confidence to go out there and um, be a spark and a mark in the world, and not be afraid of who they are. Don't wait until too late. Don't wait too late. So
Thank you
that's it.
so much for your time.
And
I
you
will
are
be
such
in
a
touch.
gem.
You have to keep sending me the music, and I would love
I
to
will. I
feature
will.
the new album as well on the new website. Everybody that's launched as well at rootsreggaehub.com. Go check it out. Thank you, Aisha Bell,
You're more than welcome. Oh my, thank you. Thanks for talking to me. Such a blessing to share with you.
and I'll be
And you
in
have such a
touch.
light,
Okay, and
a
everybody
beautiful
who's
light.
tuned in,
Yes.
keep it locked here on the radio. If you're on Instagram, head over to rootsreggaehub.com, where you can listen to my curated Aisha Bell playlist that's coming up right now.
Thank,
Following our reasoning, I'm playing
can
back
I
to back
just say hi
Aisha
to
Bell
all the
music for
persons here?
everybody,
I
so
said,
you can take in all the
man.
music.
Oh my. So many people joined and we didn't even say hi to them. We should say hi to some people.
Yes, a lot of people are.
44 MG billion joined. Thank you so much. Sharon, thank you. I hope to see you again. Little Minty. I'm sorry to be taking over your
No,
show.
that's okay. That's okay.
You
Bless
know,
up all the
let's
viewers that
up
are
in
tuned
every
in.
way still. I, I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name. Iman is that. I hope it's correct. Good night, my brother.
Yes.
I'm Bang Skateboard. Blessings to you. Bluesman, big up yourself.
Tony Brown.
Well,
Yeah.
Tony Brown, big up. Am I missing anyone else? True. Oh my thing not working so great. Cancel. Let me see that. But
Thank you,
big up
Aisha,
everybody
again.
and
And
thank
thank
you
you,
so
everybody
much.
who's tuned in. And see you guys next
Please
week.
go over to, please go and stream my song. This new song, it is dear to my heart. This is my production, and I really want to see everything with it. I just get up and do. It just say, yes, I had a rhythm before, but everything in terms of the horns, everything, the whole direction of the song is me.
Wow.
Yes, and executive production, the video, the whole ideas, the video, it's me, everything. And my brother shot it still, but you
I
understand, you're
love that. I
manifesting
love
my
it. I love you
ideas.
did that and your
So I
brother
want you
helped you shoot
all
it.
to please go and share that video and help me to get it out to the ears, because I want to encourage the world to know that in spite of all things happening, we're still there. As long as there's life, there's tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say.
Still a make a
As long
way.
as there's life, there's always right. Still a make a way.
Thank you, Aisha.
Right.
Have a beautiful night. Thank you,
You
everybody.
too.
Blessed
Take
love.
care and have a blessed night.
Good night.
Bye bye.